And welcome back, guys. I'm your host, Keyblade Kyrie 2010. So here is, this is a series that I have started. I tell you basically a funny story, a scary story, or things that have happened to me, recent or within the years that I have lived, obviously. And just things that have happened to me. And I thought I would totally tell you these stories. So the next one on my list is rude customers. I don't know if you guys know this. I work at a fast food restaurant, or fast food place, I should say, not really a restaurant. I don't know what you want to call it, whatever. But I work fast food, and I have to deal with rude customers, not all the time, but once in a great while I will deal with rude customers. I'm actually going to tell you, I believe it's 3 stories in one. It's three customers, it could be 4, I could be wrong. Anyways, let's just go with 4 stories into one. So these have happened over the years, and one of them was just recent. So yeah, my first incident is when I was still brand new at work. I would say I worked about, no, I wouldn't say I was brand new at work. I forget the time and dates. This is terrible. I always forget. 4 years into it, I believe, maybe 5, I'm guessing. Anyways, timeline doesn't matter. It was actually a Tuesday, which is our busiest day ever for work, like severely crazy busy. And I hate Tuesdays. They're madness. In fact, tomorrow is going to be Tuesday. By the time you get this, it'll probably be Tuesday. Anyways, I hate Tuesdays. They're terrible. We're running around like our heads are cut off like little chickens, and it's just crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Depending on where I'm working at, I'm okay with it, and depending where I'm working at, I hate it. So, anyways, this particular story, I was working up at front, and I was taking orders and handing out orders. Well, I had this customer. It was probably about 12 o'clock. I want to say, when we're actually hitting our peak of busy. And this gentleman comes up, and he's standing in the back. And I'm all like, I'm pretty sure I took his order. I'm pretty sure I did. So then, he stands there for about 15-20 minutes, I'm pretty sure. I wasn't really paying attention. I was trying to get these orders out, and I had a lot of people lining up in front of me. So I was trying to get as many people as I could out of my way so I can move on to the next person and so I can hand out their food. And I was being very polite. You know, I was doing my usual, joking around with the customer a little bit and taking their order and having a good day. It was a normal day. No problems, no issues, whatever. But for some reason, this gentleman just kept glaring at me. I'm all like, what is his deal? I don't know what his problem is. So I start looking at the tickets, and I'm all like up above where the tickets are, and I'm all like, okay, so I'm looking at where his order could possibly be, and I'm all like, no, I'm pretty sure I called his name, and I remember his name because it's an easy name to remember, and I'm not going to say his name because it doesn't matter. But he left after that 15-20 minutes, and then so he was gone for another 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know, 15 minutes, somewhere around there. He comes back, and he's standing in the back again. I'm like, what is this dude's problem? And I'm severely slammed. I can't stop and ask him, because I'm trying to take I have a line almost out the door, basically. So it was really frustrating. So after he comes back, he stands there for another 15-20 minutes, and he leaves again. Then, when he finally comes back again, I finally am down to, almost down to nothing for the line. Almost just about done, with all the tickets and the people, just about. And so, he comes back, and he's got a burrito or something in his hand, some food object in his hand. And I really couldn't tell because, like I said, there's people in front of me. I'm trying to get these orders out and hand out these orders and take their money and do their orders the right way, reading back orders, making sure it's right, and whatnot. Finally, he leaves for the final time. I'm like, okay, all right, you know, he seems really upset, and I don't know what his problem is. Usually when people have a problem, they come up to my side of my counter, and they come up a little closer. So that way I can help them. I can't help you all the way back there. You need to come up to my counter so I can help you. He comes back with that same food in his hand. It was all wrapped up. And I had just finished with the final customer just before the next set of customers were to come in, which actually they were just pulling up. The other customers were pulling up. So I was all like, okay, I can help you. Hey, is there some, you know, how can I help you? You know, is there something? And he throws the burrito at me. Throws whatever it is. I can't remember whatever it was that was in his hand. I'm pretty sure it was a burrito if I remember correctly. And luckily I was wearing my apron, and luckily it was mostly wrapped up and none of it got in my hair, shockingly, because I had my hair up in a bun. But still, you know, I have a visor that's open. Not anymore, I don't. I have a cap now, but I have a hat that's like a visor and it's opened up on the top. No, it barely got me. I mean, beans and whatever it was flew all over the place, and I was like, did this shocked look like, excuse you? Who are you to throw food at me? And before I could even say anything or even tell my manager to call the police or whatnot, because I thought we were going to have like a mad man on our hands, and he leaves. And I have not seen that gentleman since. Probably because I messed up his food. And I don't even know how I messed up his food. I messed up his food somehow. But, you know, I felt kind of bad, but, you know, I can't help you when you're like, oh, it was ridiculous. So the next story is of a customer throwing food and snatching food out of my hands at the drive-thru. I was the only person on drive-thru. I was trying to take a bunch of orders. I was actually only drive speaker and drive handout because I had a drive cash in the back window. And so I was cool, I was alright, and then I got a little bit slammed. I was a little bit more busy. And I go to hand this gentleman his food out to his car, and give it to him, and I tell him, have a nice day. I give him his sauce cups that he needs, and I send him on his way, or sauce packets, whatever you want to call them, and I go to send him on his way. Well, I turn around because I got an order on my headset, and he deliberately, because I'm right here, the window is right here, and the machine sits right here, and he literally tosses the bag back in, that it hits my shoulder and lands right on the counter, because there's a small counter there. And I was pretty close enough to the counter that I just right there onto the counter. It was no big deal. And I turned around and I said, excuse me, hold one moment, please. I'm having a little bit of a problem. So I turned to the customer and I said, excuse me, can you please not throw food at me? And he's like, you can give me my goddamn order the way I ordered it. I was like, well, what are you missing, sir? And he's all like, I'm missing blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, all you had to do was tell me. You didn't have to throw the food back into the window. And so he gets all pissed off at me, says a bunch of mean names, which don't really bother me entirely. I deal with it every day, so it doesn't bother me. Now, if that would have happened when I was brand new, I probably would have cried. But, yeah. So it didn't really bother me. I end up giving him putting the other food that he was missing in his bag and go to give it to him, and he snatches it out of my hands. I've had someone actually come through drive-thru, and we had somebody new on headset. I actually have two that stories are back-to-back with this one. So maybe I have a total of 6 stories. They're coming to me as I'm telling these stories. So the next one is I was training somebody on headset, and I understand when people are new on headset and whatnot, it can be really stressful. And I was handout, and we had to drive cash, and all I had was a headset on, and I was trying to help this person out. Well, we had a lady come through, and she starts yelling at my drive speaker. Like, yelling severely, and I didn't catch what was going on. because I'm trying to do too many things at once, and I'm trying to listen to the customer that's at my window, trying to give out sauce, trying to give out napkins, whatever they needed extra of or whatever. Or if they needed to add something onto their order, which I hate those. I totally hate those. If you're going to order it at my drive speaker, not at the window. If you think you forgot it, I'm sorry. It just takes up too much time for me to stop and get that too. But it happens a lot. Anyways, so this person yells at my drive speaker. And my boss, after the last incident of having somebody yell at me, I had the right to actually turn him away. I have the right to actually turn you away if you are disrespectful. I do not have to take your money. I do not have to give you your order. If you are disrespectful, you should leave. I'm sorry. We have the right as fast food people to do that. The customer is not always right. I mean, if we mess up on a food or whatnot, we'll fix it. But be polite about it, please. We work so hard. We're not dumb. We're not stupid. Which this gal swears up and down that we were idiots, that we can't, that it's a simple burrito, it's a simple blah blah blah. You should be able to make it like that. It's not rocket science, blah blah blah. You know, we're human. We make mistakes. We do. And so I actually get on the headset as she's yelling this stuff out. My cat's tail. I was like, what the heck is that? And I get on the headset and I said, if you're going to be disrespectful, you can leave. And so she actually takes a deep breath, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. I'm just going to hear it right out the ear. Actually, no, shockingly, she actually apologized, and she calmed down. She said that she was having a bad day, and she apologized. I understand, bad days happen, but you don't need to take it out on us. And she's like, you're right, I shouldn't, let me try this again. So we took her order the right way, yet again, and we got it all situated and fixed, and we sent her on her way. We had another gal, another woman that was different, who actually came to my window and told me that I was not training right. That I need to teach these people before they get on headset, blah, 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 blah. We do that, ma'am, but we like to be in the field, and he just got on. He literally just got on, so I'm sorry, and I'm all like, you know, I can't be pissed off and, like, tell her off and whatnot and say, fuck you, I'm doing my best. But, no, I was like, I'm sorry. That's all I can say. That's all I really could say was, I'm sorry, you know. All I could do in that situation while she was cursing up a storm, telling me I'm a bad coworker and I don't know how to train anybody and blah, blah, blah. I've had a lady come through and literally call me a bitch and every name underneath the sun while I was doing drive-thru. And I was having a stressful day that day, but I still managed to have a smile on my face and whatnot. And apparently I got her size wrong or something. And I was going to fix it. But she said, well, I'm not coming back here, and flips me off and drives off. I was like, okay, well, I could have fixed it, but you didn't give me the opportunity to fix that, so you just drove off. I've also had a customer, literally, her son was trying to calm his mom down. It was hilarious. This lady is blowing up at me on headset and whatnot, and I'm all like trying to get her to pick her meat that she wants on her food. It's either this, or this. She's like, that's not what I ordered. No. That is what you ordered. What meat do you want on it is what I'm asking. And she just blows up and just keeps going and keeps going. Gets to my window, because on the headset I can hear the son in the background. Mom, calm down. Mom, calm down. Mom, calm down. She gets to my window and just calls me all these names underneath the sun. Bitch, fuck you. The son's still, like, looking at me like, I'm sorry. And he's still trying to calm her down. And I'm all like, here's your food. Get out of my fucking window. I mean, I wish I could say that. I was like, have a nice day. You know, that's all I could do. I can't really curse her out. I'd lose my job. I can't say fuck off, piss off, or whatever, or here's your goddamn food, get the fuck out of my drive-thru. I just have to sit there and smile. I literally have no choice but to smile and take it. You know, it's crazy. It's really, really freaking crazy. I've had people try to give me fake money. Yes, I've had somebody give me a fake penny thinking it was like real pennies, and I was like, you know, if only in my opinion, it's just a penny. It's not that big of a deal. But I had to correct it. No. I was like, no, ma'am, I need either a penny or I'm taking it out of the bill. Whatever, fuck you. I'm like, oh my god, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I haven't had any crazy people or whatnot. I've had other co-workers that I've experienced it with them, where this other lady comes up to our window and says she shouldn't be working here, or says to one of my other co-workers, she shouldn't fucking be working here, she's this, she's that, she doesn't know what she's fucking doing. And I actually had to grab a hold of her because she was about ready to jump out that window and get her. So I've had many situations where things have happened to me at work, and those are only the rude ass customers that end up coming through. I've had nice ones too, where like I've had several fast food people come through my window and they're like, I totally understand, I've dealt with drive-thru before, but I know I said it this way, can you do it this way? You know, whatever type deal where I had to fix something. I've had a lady who actually wrote, you know, on the little stupid ticket thing, call this number, blah, 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 do a survey, da, 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 da. She did a survey of me, and she has had a daughter, and she ordered her milk. Well, our milk comes in bottles. And so I said, do you want a kid's cup and a straw so that way your kid doesn't spill this all over the place? She smiles at me, she's like, and opens her eyes like wide, and she's like, you're gonna do that? I was like, sure, why not? You know, it doesn't bother me. My mom runs a daycare. I understand how kids can be really messy from time to time. And she smiles at me, she's like, really? I was like, yeah, you know, I have great moments too. So she ends up writing a report on me, and the report gets stuck to the bulletin board. And so I actually have a copy of it in my book of memories that I have when awesome things or cool things that have happened to me, or my first time doing something have happened to me. I write them down and I put them in a book. And it was the coolest thing ever, and I ended up giving a copy to my mother because it mentioned her daycare in it and whatnot, and it was so cool. It was the coolest thing ever. And she's like, I know the cups are spendy and whatnot, but it's really awesome to see a coworker actually really cares about the customers and whatnot, and I really appreciate it. And she said with a big smile on her face that her mother runs a daycare. I am pleased to know that my child will not be spilling her milk all over the place, even though I know that she probably got possibly a little bit in trouble for giving me a cup that she could have charged me for, but she didn't. I really appreciate it, and I will definitely come back here. Thank you. And she wrote my name. So I was very pretty happy about that. I get customers like that all the time, or like having a bad day, and they cheer me up in some shape or form. I've had weird things happen to me. I've fallen in freaking work. I've done that before. I've taken a nasty fall to the point where I had to be sent home. I mean, because they thought I had a concussion, you know, because it gets slippery there. I mean, I have non-slick shoes, but I mean, if there's a big puddle of water on the floor for whatever reason, like we do dishes and we take dishes back there and it just leaves a puddle on the floor from the dishes, or we're trying to make or trying to get hot water from the hot water thing and people let it sit and it overflows and onto the floor it goes, you know, or we leave the mop hanging and the mop water just drips onto the floor. It happens, you know, big puddles of water. Sometimes our shoes can't handle it. I remember falling so hard I was seeing stars. So I mean, I've slipped on ice before in front of a customer. And yeah, like literally coming up, we have this like ice bin right here, and we use it to fill up the ice machine that's for drive, and we also fill it up for our line too, so that way the food stays cold and whatnot. And what we're supposed to do is when we do that and ice falls on the floor, we're supposed to kick it underneath so that way it just melts, and then we just it doesn't affect anything. or anybody, because it's just kicked underneath there and it just melts and then dries up, you know. But that day I came around the corner to give somebody a water cup and I stepped on a piece of ice because someone didn't kick it underneath there, and I almost had the whole water on me, and luckily I caught the corner of the counter and I was fine, you know. I mean, you can't stop everything from falling, you know. Non-slick shoes. Yeah, right, my foot, there they are. But yeah, that's basically it for rude customers and things that have happened to me and whatnot, dealing with coworker stuff. And so I thought I would deal with or talk to you about rude customers today. So alright guys, that's basically it for my stories for today. I'm your host, Keyblade Kairi 2010. Thank you so much for all your support. If you are new to my channel and you like the stories, by all means leave a comment down below. Tell me if you've had any problems with customers or dealing with coworkers or rude people or whatever it is, you know. Just tell me. I'm totally all for listening to your stories. So yeah, if you also want to hear more, if anything else happens, because I basically got to remember more as time goes on. I might have some in my book of memories that things have happened to me. I might have to look in there and see if there's anything else in there that has happened. So yeah. Alright guys, I'm your host, Keyblade Kairi 2010, signing out. Game on gamers, cosplay on cosplayers, and feel free to smash that subscribe button. And we'll see you real soon. Bye!